Hello guys and welcome back to Sandra's Shelf. So today we're talking about 5 behavioral habits you really need to quit in order to have a happier life. Okay, so no one wants to hear this, but we all have bad, toxic habits. We all engage in them, and all of these bad habits, we let them rule or even in worst cases, ruin our lives. It takes conscious effort and self-awareness to pinpoint our bad habits and to correct them. Compared to popular belief, truly bad habits are not the ones the most apparent to us. We all know that smoking and consuming junk foods are unhealthy bad habits. However, we never stop to think that we engage in these apparent bad habits because there are worse habits beyond the surface. Those habits which are not apparent to us, such as believing that we can't stop smoking and that we can't stop eating junk food. So there are many detrimental behavior habits out there, but today I've combined a list of 5 main bad behavioral habits that I've seen mostly in myself and into others around me. Correcting, but most importantly working on these bad habits will ensure a healthier and a happier life. Bad habit number 1 is seeking for external validation. Consistently seeking for external validation will make you miserable. That's a no-brainer. Not only will your confidence and self-esteem be tied to other people, but you will gradually lose your own self-assertiveness. You will lose your sense of self. You might find yourself always putting other people's expectations and other people's interests before your own. Essentially, you'll lose yourself because you're always trying to please everyone else. You will never be satisfied with yourself and you will never meet your own personal expectations from yourself. Part of being in a healthy relationship with yourself is being able to self-validate. It's being able to trust yourself enough without the constant need of external appraisal. In this matter, validation will only be fulfilling when it comes from within first. You shouldn't solely rely on the green light from others in order to achieve your full potential. Number 2, expecting results overnight. Another bad habit you need to quit is expecting results overnight. I know that I am guilty of this too. I will eat healthy for one day and expect that tomorrow I will lose weight, which is ridiculous. It's honestly a ludicrous concept when we think about it, but we've all engaged in this bad habit. We all think that we can get what we want right away. However, big changes in your life requires time and consistency. So unfortunately, if you give up before you start or you give up when the going gets tough, you'll never get where you want to be. Those desired results that you want will not happen. They might even never happen. But the only way of making them truly happen is by sticking in there. It's by putting in your time and your effort and your dedication. If you stop expecting results overnight and you consciously remind yourself that they will only happen to hard work, time, and effort and consistency, then you're less likely to give up and you're more inclined to reach your results. Just remember, slow and steady always wins the race. So next time you want to accomplish a big milestone, make a game plan that factors in daily effort over a period of time. Number 3, selling yourself short. The next bad habit you need to absolutely get rid of is selling yourself short. When you sell yourself short, you not only give the bad impression to yourself, but also to others. Selling yourself short is a learned behavior and you need to stop engaging in this bad habit. Eventually, others won't feel sympathy for you when you keep putting yourself down. In worst cases, they'll take advantage of you, and in best cases, people closest to you will remind you that it's in your power to change the way you see yourself, that it's in your power to improve yourself. So here are some ways you can stop selling yourself short. Start being aware of negative self-talk and narrative. Stop putting yourself down in general to others and to yourself. This includes anything at all, like just stop doing it. Stop engaging in self-sabotage. Stop feeling bad for yourself. Stop doubting yourself. You need to believe that you can do something. You need to believe that you can do what you set your mind to. You should start writing down your good qualities and you should start working on your insecurities the best you can. And finally, you can seek help from a professional. Number 4, blaming others for your life choices. Another bad habit you need to quit is blaming others for your own choices. When you shift personal responsibility onto others, you'll never be able to change your life for the better. You can't be happier because similarly to bad habit number 1, your happiness is reliant on others. your choices are reliant on others. Acknowledging the consequences of your choices, whether they be positive or negative, will teach you a sense of responsibility for your actions. And the next time you make decisions, you won't blame others when things go south. Truth is, a lot of the time, what happens to us is a chain of reaction resulting from the choices that we made consciously or unconsciously through time. I highly recommend reading Darren Hardy's The Compound Effect to know more about how the chain of reactions of our choices accrue over time. Even when we make life choices with other people in mind, we are still held accountable. We have free will and therefore agency in the way we react to the decisions we've made. We need to be able to self-reflect and truly look inwards in order to stop blaming others. When we can finally face our choices, we are freed from the negative emotions that we are harboring, and consequently, we can stop projecting our misery onto others. In this manner, we allow ourselves to be accepting, to move on, and to be happier. Number 5, being reactive instead of preventative. This one goes without saying, but I will remind you and I will remind myself that we should be preventative instead of reactive. Defaulting to reactive mode usually causes more harm than good into our lives. Being reactive usually involves hasty mistakes and desperation at reversing what could have once been avoided or prevented. I'll give you some common low-stake examples. Failing an exam you hardly studied for, having to fight for a refund for a plane you just missed because you were late, as well as your credit card charging you interest fees because you missed a bill payment. Those are just some of the low-stake examples. So how can you be preventative rather than reactive? One of the best ways is through proper time management. When you take the right steps at the right time, which is the time before, then you minimize risk. Help managing your time requires constant effort and even some scheduling on your end. This can be done with the aid of a planner or an agenda or any other tool available online. If we are too reactive rather than preventative, it may cost us our health, our finances, and the worst, our lives. That's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed these 5 bad behavioral habits that you need to quit in order to have a happier and healthier life. Let me know what kind of bad habits you're trying to kick to the curb this year. As I said, this is a non-exhaustive list, so feel free to comment down below. And per usual, the blog post as well as the book that I mentioned will be linked in the description down below. And for now, goodbye, and I'll see you on the next shelf.